Good evening everyone. Ivan here. Welcome to the first edition of our free weekly webinar. We are ready to share some interesting setup with you and some update on the free setup that we shared with you during the last weekend in our weekly PDF. So let's start now with our analysis here on Australian dollar, Japanese yen. We are on the daily time frame, and we can see here that the price during the last weeks tried to pass this key level here, fail to go higher, and from this point the price start a strong bearish movement that bring the price to touch this key level here in the last weeks, 7.4. Here the price on the daily time frame has formed this clear hammer candle, and from this point the price start this strong bullish movement that break this bearish trend line, and for this reason I expect a more deeper correction around this area. But we can see here that the price open the next week just a few pips above this key level, but fail to go higher and fail to find the strength to go higher, and from this point the price started to form this bearish engulfing candle, and we can see that after this first bearish signal the price didn't find a main direction, and in the last weeks the price is trapped between 7.5 and 7.6 without a main direction. We can see here that the price here has formed a clear strong bullish candle, and after this strong bearish movement I expect a correction around this area where we have these two Fibonacci levels around this key level for this pair, 77.50 here. Going on the 4-hour time frame here, we can see that the price is blocked in a strong lateral channel between these two levels, and we can see that the price tried to break this key level many times in the last weeks, but didn't find the necessary strength to go higher, but give us some false breakout like this one, where the price has formed a clear bullish candle, bullish engulfing candle that bring the price just few pips above this key level. But we can see that just after this strong bullish signal the price failed to go higher, and from this point start another bearish movement that reach this slowdown area, and after this clear touch the price start another time another bullish movement, and we can see here another clear false break, and we can see here that the price has give us another signal that has not the strength to go higher. And on our Slack community with our traders, in the last days we find this bullish trend line here, and we can see that yesterday the price perfectly break this bullish trend line with this 4-hour bearish candle, and after this first bearish signal the price start a strong bearish movement that bring the price today to reach another time this slowdown area around 75.40. Now obviously we have to carefully watch the price action, because using Fibonacci from the start of this last bearish phase, now we can see these two Fibonacci levels. So now we have to carefully watch if the price will find the strength for a correction, because if the price will reach this area we have to carefully watch the price action, try to understand after this correction the price will start another bearish phase with target around 7.5, or this will be another clear bounce from this area and will bring the price another time to clearly touch this key level 776 here, as already seen many times in the last weeks. Now guys, obviously after the clear break of this bullish trend line here, I expect a strong bearish movement, because we can see that this bullish trend line support the price many times in the last 2 weeks. So for this reason, I expect a strong bearish movement. If the price will finally break this slowdown area, I expect first of all a clear touch of this key level 7.5, and obviously a clear daily closing below this level will give us the final signal that the price will be ready for a more deeper movement and a bearish movement with target around 7.4. Now, obviously, the first thing to watch will be the price action around this level. Try to understand in the next days if the price will find the strength for a correction or will start another bearish phase, will break this level, and we will see 7.5 before the weekly closing. Obviously, guys, we are in a very lateral phase without a main direction from 3 weeks now, so I prefer to wait more clear signal and don't rush into any trade. So if the price will reach 7.5, I will look carefully at the price action, especially on the daily time frame. And similar situation, if the price will find the strength to go back around 7.6, I will wait the daily closing, and I will look carefully the daily time frame, try to understand if the price will find the strength for a clear break of this key level on the daily time frame, because we can see here how many times in the last weeks the price give us first break on the 4-hour time frame. So for this reason, I prefer to go on the bigger time frame. If you have any question about this setup, write in the chat session. Welcome to everyone, first of all. Okay, any question? So let's move to the next one. Euro Australian dollar. Here we can see that the price here in the last weeks, we are on the 4-hour time frame here. We can see that the price reached this key level here, 1.64, a key level that we know very well on this pair, because this level react the price many times, especially on the daily time frame. Oops, sorry. We can see the price action in the last month. The price here failed to go higher this first time. Another attempts to break this key level, but we can see that the price give us another first break, because here the price closed the daily candle above this key level, but failed to go higher, and from this point start a strong bearish movement that bring the price to almost touch 1.60 here. I expect after this first bearish movement a correction, because we can see here a clear head and shoulder. So after this first bullish candle, I expect a clear touch of this area before the continuation to the downside, and we can see that the price perfectly touch our entry point in the last weeks, and after this clear touch, the price has formed this shooting star candle on the daily time frame, and for me this is one of the most important candle into the market. And after this clear bearish signal, start another bearish phase that bring the price during the last days to clearly break this bullish trend line. We can see here how strong is this bullish trend line that support the price from many times now. from many months. Here we can see that the price break this slowdown area and this bullish trend line, but we can see that fail to go lower and form 3 clear doji candle here. So for me, this could be a strong signal that the price is not ready to form new low. And we can see that today the price is forming a clear bullish engulfing candle here. So now we have to carefully watch the price action, especially on the daily time frame on this pair, because if the price will close a daily candle above 1.60 here after this first break, this will be a strong signal that the price is ready to start another bullish phase, try to reach another time 1.6150 here. But if the price will fail to go higher and will close the daily candle below this level, and obviously we have to carefully watch the price action on the weekly time frame, try to understand if the price will confirm this comeback or will come back below this area. Obviously, now we have to carefully watch, first of all, this first daily candle, try to understand if the price will find the strength to come back above this slowdown area and this bearish trend line and this bullish trend line. And if the price in the next days will find the strength to close a daily candle above 1.60, this will be a massive signal that the price is ready for a deeper correction after these 2 weeks of strong bearish pressure. But if we go on the 4-hour time frame, we can see here that we have a clear bearish trend line with clear 2 touch here, and using Fibonacci from the last bearish phase, we can see that the price here form this bullish candle, break this slowdown area, and now we have to carefully watch the price action around 1.60 as explained on the daily time frame, because if the price will come back with a daily closing above this key level, this will be a strong signal that the price is ready for a deeper correction. But in this area, we can see that we have this bearish trend line, this slowdown area, and this Fibonacci retracement. So for this reason, I prefer to look carefully, first of all, the price action around this key level, 1.60. But if the price will close a daily candle above this level, I will look carefully the price action the next days around this area, because if the price will close above it, this will be a strong bullish signal for the price. But obviously, we have to look carefully at the main direction of the price that is in a very strong bearish movement. So if the price will break this level, I will look carefully the price action around this area where we have this Fibonacci retracement and this slowdown area, because I personally prefer the bearish scenario on Euro Australian dollar, because for me the Australian dollar has some strength to start another bullish phase, and plus the Euro area in the last weeks don't have any good signal from the macroeconomic side. So I expect a more bearish pressure. And if the price obviously will break this level, we have to carefully watch the price action here, try to understand after this correction, the price will give us a strong entry point after this correction, just before a next strong bearish movement. Obviously, if the price will reach our entry point, we will have a massive risk reward ratio around 4.60 here, because we have 250 pips take profit and a potential 56 pip stop loss. So a very good risk reward. But first of all, we have to carefully watch the price action around this key level, because if the price will stay below this level, we have to carefully watch the price action between this slowdown area and this key level. Then we have the last one. This analysis was shared yesterday with you in the morning update, and this morning I shared the exactly setup on the morning update, and for this reason you needed to go on the morning update every morning, because I will update this page every morning with new setup and new updates. We can see that this morning the price has formed a clear bearish engulfing candle here. And if you look at my morning update, I explain that if the price form a clear bullish engulfing candle above 1.2450, this was a massive bearish signal and could help us with our setup 2, with an entry point for our setup 2. And we can see that the price here tried to go higher, but didn't find the strength to form this massive upper shadow. In our Slack community, we have already closed part of this trade, take out part of the profit and moved the stop loss to the break even, because obviously on the GBP in the next days, we had strong news on the macroeconomic side with the new prime minister. So I don't want to risk anything, and I advise you, if you are in this trade, we are now 27 pips in profit, to move the stop loss to the break even, first of all, to not risk anything, because in this situation, we can have a strong news at any moment that can ruin our trade. So for this reason, move the stop loss to the break even if you had this trade open. We can see here on the daily time frame here that the price is in a very strong bearish movement. We can see this strong lateral phase, as explained many times in my morning update and in our weekly PDF. We can see that the price here has formed a clear inverted head and shoulder, and the price this morning clearly touched this bearish trend line here on the daily time frame. So for this reason, we have to carefully watch the price action on the 4-hour time frame here. And look, we can see the perfectly touch of this bearish trend line. If the price, after this first bearish movement, will find the strength to confirm this clear break, because a clear daily closing above this bearish trend line and above the lower part of this side channel where we had our take profit one, this will be a massive signal that the price will be ready to reach another time the upper part of this side channel and this key level 1.27. But if the price will confirm this bearish engulfing candle, this for me will be a strong bearish signal that could bring the price another time to another bearish phase. So guys, I repeat, protect yourself now if you had this trade open. Move the stop loss to the break even, because we are already 25 pips in profit. But I repeat, we are in a very critical area here, because now the price is just below this bearish trend line, and now we have to carefully watch the price action on the daily time frame, because a clear break could give us a final confirm for another bearish phase. But if the price didn't find the strength to pass this bearish trend line, this will be a massive signal that the price could start another bearish phase. And obviously, if the price will break this right shoulder and this key level 1.2450, I will look carefully around 1.24, because a clearly daily and especially weekly closing below this level will be a massive signal for the next month and for the rest of the year that the British pound is ready for another collapse. But for now, guys, stay with this trade and look carefully the price action just few pips below this bearish trend line. Any question about this setup? Thank you, Alex. If you have any question, write in the chat session. And obviously, in the next weeks, we will do another weekly webinar with you and with all the guys in the free channel. So thank you for joining this webinar. I hope this first edition can help you. Tomorrow evening, I will share I will share this video recording of this webinar with you on our brand new YouTube channel. So in the next minutes, I will send you a link to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And in the next days, I will share the video recording of this webinar. I will share some new video analysis on many pair. And in the next week, we will start a brand new series for all the VIP and free members of our service. So thank you for joining, guys. I hope this helped you, and I wish you a good evening. Thank you.